am Noriko Ballford, and this is Uncut News. The United Kingdom has become the first country in the world to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. The first 800,000 doses will be available next week. Elderly people in care homes and care home staff have been placed top of the priority list, followed by over 80s and healthcare staff. The vaccine was finished in record-breaking time, taking only 10 months to follow the same steps that normally span 10 years. The United Kingdom has already ordered 40 million doses, enough to vaccinate 20 million people. Locally, Dr. Frank Anthony revealed that the government is leaning towards administering the first set of vaccines to the elderly population and persons with serious underlying health conditions. The minister had initially stated that frontline workers would be the first to receive the vaccine once it is made available to us. The United Nations International Office for Migration is calling for simpler systems to be put in place for Venezuelan migrants here to access work permits in order for them to be employed without being exploited and becoming victims of human trafficking. According to the IOM, the current process to acquire a work permit requires far too much documentation from the migrant workers, as well as from the employers, documents that the migrants often don't have. Additionally, the IOM is implementing a project across the Caribbean and Latin America in response to the Venezuelan migrant situation. They provide business grants for the migrants along with online training to ensure the businesses are sustainable. It is estimated over 30,000 Venezuelans are currently living in Guyana. And while the United Nations is lauding us for not deporting Venezuelans, the High Court ruled yesterday that the 26 detained Haitians must be deported back to Haiti. The order was granted although the Haitians were not charged for any crime and never appeared before the court. Attorney Darren Wade said the Haitians were never presented to the court and have not been charged for the crime, so it is actually quite difficult to understand on what grounds are being used to support the deportation. He reminded that the 26 Haitians all arrived in Guyana and were granted legal entry by the Immigration Department. Nevertheless, the Attorney General's chambers never responded to his motion in court, but instead moved to the lower court and sought the deportation orders. Wade intends to appeal the move, calling it a direct violation of their rights. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is the 2011 Toyota Rocktis. It comes with paddle shift, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, mag rims, fog lamps, and much more. Pay cash for $2.6 million, or pay down as low as $520,000 with $50,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet deal. None the law says they are trying their best to get back everyone's money, but scamming Yuri and Atika continue to be uncooperative during the investigation. Yuri Garcia Dominguez and his wife Atika Ishmael were given several opportunities to return the money, but the accounts they provided are either empty or fake. Together, Yuri and Atika are facing 70+ charges for obtaining monies by false pretense from some 17,000 Guyanese. Meanwhile, the couple is out on over $30 million bail. This morning, the men police say are responsible for killing 26-year-old shop owner Kevin Allman faced the Port Kaituma Magistrates Court to answer to the charge of murder. 22-year-old gold miner Nadim Pash, 20-year-old Venezuelan national Anel Figuera, and 22-year-old Venezuelan national Gilberto da Silva were not required to plead to the indictable charge and were all remanded to prison. Their next court date is December 22, 2020. On World AIDS Day, advisor to the Minister of Health and Human Skeleton, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, called for the government to not forget the work needed to address the other health crisis, HIV/AIDS. He also noted that one of the ways they can help control the situation is through the decriminalization of same-sex relationships. I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me here. The LGBT community is disproportionately affected by the disease, as well as societal stigma towards them. Experts believe that this stigma has prevented persons who are most vulnerable from getting treatment and preventative care from actually getting it. And currently, at least 8,300 persons are living with HIV/AIDS in our nation. You can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your existing side hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy through Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Former President David Granger has found himself in the midst of another dumb, pointless controversy after it was discovered that he signed the wrong date on the election petition court case documents. The opposition's lawyer told the court that an affidavit has been filed showing that the petition documents were signed by Granger on September 18th in keeping with legal requirements. It is believed that Granger was served on September 25th, 2020, although he should have been served 5 days after the petition was filed on September 15th, giving you a deadline date of September 20th. But according to the petitioner, Brendan Nurse, the error is cause he went to Granger's house on 3 occasions to have him sign the papers, and somehow Einstein forgot the man's signature each time up until the 25th. The PPP's counsel said based on this fact alone, the petition should be struck out. I'm inclined to agree with them. It's time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 26 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 151. Oh joy, no one died last night. There are now 30 persons in the ICU and 726 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 5,449. So, please people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 meters space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. As of Monday, the cash-strapped and poorly run regional airline Liat took back to the skies. Well, sorta. They will fly 5 days a week to just 7 destinations: Antigua, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, and St. Vincent. This is the first time Liat is back in operation since poor ticket sales and the Rona knocked them out of service in March. Welcome to December, people. We are in the height of robbery season. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home of business. I personally recommend Chef Security Service. I find that they are the most professional, with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. In Trinidad, over 10,000 Trinidadian dollars in chocolates was stolen from a delivery truck on Tuesday afternoon. The driver told police that he had parked the 7-ton truck at a side road near the Maple Leaf International School. He returned about an hour later and observed the back of the truck had been pried open. A check revealed that 30 200-gram Cadbury chocolate bars were missing. He immediately notified the police. The police are currently checking the hands of all the thugs to see if they have sticky fingers or chocolate mustaches. Ha! And now for our weird news story of the day. This story is for you people who wait to take your worm tablets. A woman suffered hallucinations, insomnia, and incontinence for months after she ate 5-day-old sushi from a gas station in Chicago, Illinois. Medics treating the woman, a 34-year-old only known as JC, were absolutely confuzzled as to the cause of her illness, until they eventually discovered that she actually had a giant tapeworm lurking in her stomach for 9 months. JC spent months suffering with malnutrition, incontinence, sleepless nights, anxiety, and hallucinations of bugs crawling up the walls and underneath her skin. Around the same time, JC started having stomach cramps, feeling her stomach jiggle and shake before she went to the toilet. Fortunately for her, the symptoms disappeared after they gave her a good deworming. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, do you think APNU will win the elections petition? Sharon Davis said, APNU should relax and wait for the next election. We're fed up hearing about elections now. Samuel Ramsey said, the APNU let down their supporters when they were in power. They didn't lose because the elections were rigged. They lost because their supporters didn't vote. If the petition ruling favors the APNU, Jagdeo will bring something from somewhere to contest that. The best chance the APNU has is to promise public servants 300% salary increase. So if things go their way, they won't have a hard time getting in. So, before we get to tonight's question, brighten up the holiday season and decorate your homes with new stock of vinylate, carpet, rubber towel, leatherette, glassware, doily, table plastic, rugs, and roll runner easy-to-clean carpet. Available in many styles, patterns, and designs to choose from. Beat the rush and enjoy the glorious days of shopping at Ravina's and the Nines. Ravina's and the Nines have unbeatable prices. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit them at Ravina's at 17A Water Street or Nines at 108 Regent Street, or call them at 225-6595. So for tonight's question, on one side, we are being encouraged to give Venezuelans work permits, while at the same time we are deporting Haitian nationals and trying to make it harder for them to even visit, let alone work here, and yet we hear nothing from the United Nations. Do you think this policy is reasonable or even fair? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good, we just might feature it in Thursday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Netiq Scam saying good night, folks. Hey Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.